All right, guys, welcome back. It is, Southern Prepper 1 over here. I'm just kidding. It's Red Cell Gorilla. Big shout out to Dave at Southern Prepper 1 because he's kind of the guy that he does this, right? Usually just does like little green army men. And what we used to do is basically the same thing on a terrain model kit, which is what I'm showing you right now, or a sand table. And each and every individual guy kind of learns his place or shows off what he is supposed to do when we're on one of these terrain model kits or a sand table. So we'll have one like back at base, and then obviously we'll do one while we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's just not going to have like all this cool stuff. We might have like a couple of little green soldiers or whatnot, and then we use yarn for everything else and use rocks for buildings and all that stuff. But because I'm a nerd and I have all this stuff, all these toys basically, we'll go over it like this, right? Okay, cool. So here in a second, I'm going to try to get this done in 10 minutes. So everybody understands that, this is a 10-minute gig, right? This is supposed to happen in 10 minutes. This is supposed to be like, hey, we start shooting, 10 minutes flat is how long we have, and once we're done, we're going to be there. All right, so the setup. 100 meters in our flank to the left, we're going to have our security. 100 meters flank to our right. We're also going to have security because we put security in first because we're going in ass backwards like we already talked about, and we do that. All right, so the next set that we're going to set up is our support by fire. We got a little machine gun. We know our team lead's going to be here. Team lead can help set in alpha team, but alpha team is probably going to be set in by the alpha team leader on purpose because the alpha team leader probably knows where his guys need to go. But if the squad leader doesn't work with them that often, which regular military guys, they're going to be working with each other a lot, right? We used to do this stuff for hours, and I mean hours and hours and hours during a day. Doing infantry stuff, and if you're in the infantry and your squad leader or platoon sergeant are not making you just run these drills all day, every day, and you're getting stuck on janitorial service because you're an 11, a 1-1 broom pusher instead of an 11 bang bang, then that's on them. Get a team leader or squad leader who's really cut up. You guys should literally just be running these drills all day, every day. You don't have to have ammunition to run them. Okay, cool. So continuing with the setup, we have our alpha team or assault. Let's pretend these guys are saw gunners. Saw gunner is going to cover 50% of our kill zone, and our right side saw gunner is also going to cover 50% of our kill zone from the outsides to the insides. Our machine gunner is going to be covering 100% of the kill zone in his sector of fire. Our rest of alpha team is going to be in 15 to 10 degree increments right out in front of them, and they're going to be covering the rest of the kill box. Now, our kill box is probably going to be 50 yards, 50 meters-ish from the left limit to the right limit. We're going to wait until everybody is inside of that kill box before we start lighting them up. In the Army, we usually have claymore mines set very close to the road. So we're going to initiate with demolitions here. We are hand grenade range back, so pretend that this is from here to the barrel of the gun is 35 yards, and then the rest of this is what we're shooting at. Once this is initiated by the squad leader, he's going to initiate with demolitions. Boom. The machine gunner and everybody else is just going to lay some hate into this area for an entire minute. We call it the mad minute. Once we stop and he calls ceasefire, the very next thing that you're going to do is listen for signs of life. If there is a death gasp or anybody goes, right? You hear some weird noise, you're going to lay that hate on them again, right? Another mad minute. Boom. Okay, cool. So everybody died during our second mad minute. And what's going to happen next? He's going to call ceasefire. Alpha team lead is going to call drums. So saw gunner, and our machine gunner are all going to reload while these guys are pulling security, just in case one of these dudes pulls a Jesus and revives himself, right? Immediately after that, he's going to call mags. Anybody who has magazines and actually shot them is going to reload their magazines. The very next thing that we're going to end up doing is pushing forward. Alpha team lead, this guy right here, is going to say, whatever side he wants. Left side with me, they're going to bound forward. Right side to me, they're going to do a successive bound forward. We already went with successive bounds, right? After this is kicked off, your security on the left and on the right are probably going to push a little bit closer to the road so they can actually see what's going on. And again, those dudes have comms with squad leader. All right. Okay, so once the alpha team lead is up here, we're probably going to call lights. We're definitely doing this kind of thing at night, doing goon stuff. But even with our nods on, it's very difficult to see certain things whenever you are pushing across an objective. So everybody ends up white lighting. We use the lights on our guns, and I personally like a helmet light or a headlamp, or using a headlamp around my neck, and then I'll throw it in my teeth or whatever, right? So now all of them are going to assault across the objective at the same time. Now, if there is a body in your sector, the call out for that is body, body. Whoever is closest to it is going to chrome down this dude twice in the face before we continue on. Body, body, bam, 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 and that happens. We're going to get to the edge of our objective and move to a limit of advance 35 meters past our objective. The next thing that's going to happen for Alpha Team Lead is he's going to set his saws back on security to the left and to the right, and he's going to get a lace report, ace report, whatever. And he's going to individually touch his homies. Hey man, what are you on? Liquids, ammo, did you get hurt, casualty, and equipment? Did you lose anything, stupid? No, he didn't, all right? He's going to do the exact same thing to the other guys, and we usually feel them up pretty good. That should be done by the time that our team lead, our squad leader and machine gunner get to the other side of our objective. He's going to lock down this road because guess what? Bad guys were facing this way from the left to the right. If QRF comes in, it's probably coming from the left side. All right, so after this, our squad leader is probably going to call, hey, yo, go ahead, search to me, bring me all this stuff. Team lead and a homie are going to search all these guys, and what we would do is just take all of their stuff, right? You're searching pockets. Usually I would just take the entire flick or armor carrier, or if they have, other kind of mag carrier, Chicom rig, whatever. We just take the whole thing. Take the guns, take the whole thing. We do it to all of them, and we're going to call this stuff out to them saying, hey, I've got, 3 AKs, 3 vests that all have armor in them, and we've got 2 radios and all kinds of craziness. Well, that means we're up against a professional force, right? That is Commander's Critical Intelligence requirements. Once that's done, you're probably going to take it to him so he can destroy it, whatever. They'll pretend to destroy it because in real life, just take that stuff, right? The weapons, we started taking them and putting serial numbers on them and then throwing them into the hands of A&A, right? So we take them, write down serial, send them out. Well, after all this stuff is done and complete, we're going to get fire in hole 1. Fire in hole 1 means we're going to start moving Alpha Team out of here. Alpha Team Lead is going to be the last guy out of Alpha Team to leave, but we're going to get physically counted off by our squad leader. I don't really have, let's put a tree here, a street lamp or something. A tree is good. You're going to physically place something between where your soldiers are going to come through so you can actually do a physical count. Alpha Team Leader comes out. Fire in hole 2. Fire in hole 2, your machine gunner is coming out. And fire in hole 3, our security usually starts taking off and burning, right? Burning, meaning we're getting ready to demo all of whatever is right here. I think I did that in a little bit less than 10 minutes, and these guys are running to the ORP. I think I did that in a little bit less than 10 minutes. But yeah, whenever you're doing this repeatedly, you have it down. Our standard was 10 minutes or less, right? And I had to explain a lot of stuff. I think a lot of the things that we did were in 5 minutes or so. I just wanted to make sure that there was a shorter video for you guys out there who have, a very short attention span. I know I do. But yeah, that's it. This has been Red Sail Gorilla in transmission.